When I do production work in chairs, the tenons on the sticks and the legs, I'll usually turn them. Maybe not on the sticks, but definitely on the legs and the stretcher. A reader asked, how do you do this? And so I'm going to show you. It's pretty basic. I'm not a professional turner, so don't laugh. But to get started, we need to do the layout. So I need you to come in close and take a look. Here we have an engraved center finder, and it really is the only way to find center on a leg, and it has to have the engravings or it won't work. What I do, since it starts from octagonal, is I'm going to go around and do it 4 times. These might look square, but as you can see, they're not square. So you need to go around all 4 onto 4 edges, and you can see that this is a little wider than this, and that's why we have to go between these 2 lines. And then I just take my birdcage awl and poke the center. The reason I like the birdcage awl is because I can actually move this a little bit because it cuts. So I can shift this hole a few microns if I need to, or furlongs. So now we just mark the other side, and then we'll take it out to the lathe. Basic lathe, nothing fancy at all, you know, tailstock, headstock, drive center. So we're going to chuck this up, put one end with the drive center in one hole, and then put the other end until these teeth start to bite. This is all in your lathe instruction manual. It should not be new to you at all. And then make sure that the tool rest is cinched down. So let's get in a little tighter and we'll talk about layout. So this is going to be a 2.5 inch long tenon. So I'm going to just make a little mark here at 2.5, and then I hold the pencil at 90 degrees to the work and then just rotate it by hand. That is good enough for this sort of work. This is the tool that does most of the removal. I could use a roughing gouge, which I have, but these are easy to sharpen. I just rotate the cutter. This is an easy wood carbide toothed cutting tool. It has a very short radius, 2-inch radius here on there, and it removes wood quite aggressively. So I'm going to get this tenon down to about 1 inch diameter, and then we'll finish it off with a Bedan sizing tool and a parting tool. This is a parting tool with a Bedan sizing tool from Robert Sorby attached to it, and it basically acts as a stop so that the tenon will go between this tip and the cutting edge and make a perfect size tenon every time. We're going to set this for 1 inch. So you just take it and move the parting tool or the gizmo until you've got 1 inch between the two. And I may fuss around a little bit on a piece of scrap to make sure that I get to the exact, you can get it real precise. So I'm kind of fussing here. There we go. And sometimes I'll make it just a wee bit oversized so I can compress it. So now the idea will be that I will drop this onto the tenon and it will shave it to the final dimension. I'm probably still, though, a little too thick. I need to remove just a little bit more before the parting tool can do the job effectively. If I go in there and try to do it now, it'll be a very aggressive cut. I really just want to shave just a little bit. So back to the roughing tool for a moment. So now I'm just going to bring it down like a lever, and as soon as it stops cutting, then I lever it back up. And this all happens levers against the tool rest. And so the last thing I do is just cosmetic. This is another easy wood tool. This one just has a circular cutter. It's usually used for finishing cuts, but I use it to make a cove here on the shoulder that will just make it look a little nicer if I end up tapering this not all the way to the tenon. But if I want to leave a little cove, I'll do that right now. And that's the finished tenon. Ta-da!